And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the upper semifinals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 73. We have our two players here. We have our first player already in the finals, but we're here to determine who will join him, who will join Geralt in those grand finals. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the red Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of the UK. It is Eba. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing his new team, Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, predictions now open. Get your gamba going as you can place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. As you have 2 minutes upon hearing this message to get your predictions while you can, as we will settle into our PvZ. Ooh, oh boy, and Geralt, he can of course take some rest here. Well earned, well deserved, as Geralt, he just survived the chaos that is Honmono. Again, Honmono, he's an animal. He's an absolute animal. And shout out to Geralt, of course, for showcasing his skill and having a very entertaining best of 3 against him. Can now rest, recuperate, and get ready for the finals. It will either be a Zerg or a Protoss to face off against him. And we'll see which one. For now, Hatch Gaspel, standard opener out of Eba. Likewise, Krystianer back at home going for a gate expand into Cybercore. We were able to feature Krystianer earlier against Demi. We were able to feature him, and he was able to have a really good showing against him as well, able to deal with the aggression of Demi and likewise get into his own aggression as well. So some a very odd build on Snowpiercer, if you recall, going Stargate opener into 4 gateways into Mass Vanilla Stalker, which did end up catching Demi off guard. But we'll see. We'll see how Eba does approach instead. Speaking of, hold on. I may as well fix this up. Beautiful. Just to make sure everyone knows who's who. And back at home, no surprises here. Stargate is going to be a Stargate opener out of Krystianer. Should be Oracle into a 3rd base. I'm assuming triple Oracle opener, but as we saw against Demi, Krystianer, he does have some other unique builds up his sleeve. Could cut Oracles at 1 and tech into something very different instead. So we'll keep an eye on the Stargate, keep an eye on the Oracle production as the first adept moves out. 3rd base is being taken in by Eba. As we look into Whispers of Gold, this map is renowned for all-ins. We've seen many a roach-based all-in, German taxis, queen walks across the map. Aggression is favored here on Whispers of Gold, and we have seen Protoss players struggle to defend their 3rd bases. Whether it's the triangular 3rd or the linear 3rd base, we have seen a lot of struggle defense, and we'll see if Eba does also embrace something more chaotic, more aggressive, or more macro. First Oracle's on the way. Krystianer, he is going for the triangular 3rd. Likewise, of course, so is Eba. And again, this 3rd base is very exposed. You can attack from multiple angles here. The ramp coming into the 3rd also very wide open. You can knock down these rocks as well to reinforce faster across the map. Again, we've seen mainly roach all-ins on Whispers of Gold. But we'll see. See what Eba does embrace as the Oracle does move out. Does move out across the map. Also, Funada este trigger. I see trigger in the chat. Este trigger, most average Honmono game. I mean, true, but also, it's been a while, Trigger. It's been a while since we've seen you play. Since we've seen you play in Sparkling Tuna Cup. Este trigger. Ay, ay, ay. We need trigger in STC again. As Lings, they get across the map, they threaten the pylon, they get a full scout of the natural at least, but the Oracle will clean them up, it will shut them down, and Krystianer will defend. Does defend back at home, not punished too hard for not having the wall here at the ramp, or at the wall. Meanwhile, once again, do you see what I see? Only one Oracle. It's the same build. It is the same build that we saw against Demi. Singular Oracle into a 4-gate setup. No Twilight Council. This is to go into mass Vanilla Stalkers to move out across the map. Now, this Stalker push did kill Demi, did overwhelm him over time. We'll see if Eba can recover instead. Just like Demi, though, no Roach Warren. No Roach Warren by Eba. It is only Ling Queen. Only Ling Queen to defend. Oracle does threaten the third, takes a lot of hull damage. A lot of damage here on the Oracle. Lings are amassing. Eba is setting up. And I don't think this Stalker push is going to be as effective. I mean, we'll see. Like, the Oracle, again, doesn't really have as much support or as much HP to support. Stalker's a push. Eba has been amassing Lings. And again, as long as Eba doesn't overdrone, he should be okay. Stalkers, they do poke in. They threaten the Queens. Up! One Queen goes down. Nice pickup. But the Lings, they come in for the surround. They lock down the army. Oracle does fall, and this is becoming a little bit too much. Krystianer is bleeding out too many Stalkers. He does get punished. That was how many Stalkers going down? Those four. Four Stalkers falling. At the same time, Lings, they get across the map. They get 2 probes. And Krystianer, he's transitioning. We do have the Forge. That's why they cancel +1 and Blink on the horizon for Krystianer. But this move out, again, was not anywhere near as successful. Eba holds. Eba defends. Now takes the 4th base. He can now drone. And he is taking into a Hydra Den. It's going to be Lingbane Hydra from Eba into potentially Lurker Tech. Eba, he's double expanding, getting his 4th and his 5th at the same time. Or somewhat at the same time. And he was looking secure. Looking quite secure here. And Krystianer has to be the defender. He has to back up, he has to defend. I assumed it was going to be Blink because he had so many Stalkers already, but no, it's going to be Charge instead. He's working towards Charge Lots, Archon. Storm is going to be on the way. Charge Lots +1. Lings, they dive in. Storm is not ready. Uh-oh. Stalkers are getting caught out. So they dive on the shield battery as well. Shield battery is going to be targeted down. And these Lings are wreaking havoc. Krystianer caught with his pants down. He cannot blink away. And even though he will defend, these are some brutal losses. Brutal losses here. 10 Stalkers in total falling. A very efficient trade by Eba, trading minerals for gas. Lurker Den is on the way, Infestation Bit as well. Eba, he's taking towards Lurker Tech and Hive Tech. All on the horizon for Eba. As the Lurker Den is done, Storm is about to finish, and I would imagine that Krystianer wants to move out with Storm, but he just lost a big chunk of his Stalker army. I don't know if he can be as successful here if he moves out. Eba getting ready for a Link counterattack. Does have +1 melee. Does keep eyes on the main army. Storm is revealed. Does graze the Lings. Eba, we need Lurkers. There we go. 3 Lurkers are on the way. 5 Lurkers on the way. Lurkers, they are getting ready. Zelta cleaned up. Eba, he's holding. Likewise, Krystianer getting a 4th. Expanding towards his opponent. Getting into more Archons. Immortals as well. Krystianer's going to try to push in towards the 4th, but Lurkers are ready for this. Lurkers are in position. Krystianer to take it slow. Warping into the main. The Prism does get targeted down, but the Zealot Warping does complete. But plenty of Lings. The Lings that are in position. Queens as well. Zealots, they do rotate around. They hit the 3rd. Lurkers having a hard time keeping up. Storm connects. Storm barely does connect. Lurkers, they get ready. They do burrow. And Eba defends. Eba does hold. He's on 75 workers. Krystianer, he's on 90 probes. Oh my god. Jesus. 90 workers. Calm down. Meanwhile, Eba, yo, let's go for the 2nd time in my history of casting StarCraft. We do have Frenzy being researched. Let's go. I've only seen one Zerg player before this research Frenzy, and that was Dark. That was Dark. What was it? Maybe last week? It was Dark last week in Wardy TV Monday, if I remember correctly. Now the 2nd player, Eba. Let's go. Frenzy is being researched. For those who don't know, it's kind of like a lunge for the Hydra. Does allow them to jump forward. Meanwhile, we do see Krystianer does rotate between the bases, does hit the third. Lurker's not quite in position. And Storms will zone away. An efficient trade here by Krystianer. Doesn't break the base, but did catch Eva off guard. What is Frenzy? Frenzy is a Hive upgrade for the Hydra. It just allows the Hydra to move forward very quickly for like 1 second. Oh, as Storms do connect. Yeah, massive Storms on the Lurkers. It basically grants Hydra's stim. It's kind of like stim, with like rush forward for a second. It's designed, it's designed to try to allow Hydras to avoid storms, so they can like jump away from storms basically. But what we've seen it mainly being used in, at least again so far, because I've only seen Dark research it. Literally no one else has researched it because it's high-tech upgrade. Is to chase drops. Like we've seen it in ZVT chase down like fire drops and stuff like that, which has been really cool. There it is. Hydras, they try to kite back. Massive storms on the Lurkers. Ooh, and the Lurkers go down. At the same time, we do see Eva trying to go for a counterattack. Hits the natural. But plenty of Immortals to defend. Storm on the Hydras. And Eva, he has to back off. Does back off. But yeah, we've seen it be quite effective to keep up with like a more mobile bio army, for example, with drop play. Outside of that, again, as I mentioned, it's meant to be more designed to help avoid storm splash damage or purification novas, for example. Or to even just retreat. We've seen that as well. We've seen, again, like I have to reference Dark, as he's the only other player we've seen do this. We've seen Dark like engage and then back the hell up and just zoom away. So we've seen it be more effective as like a retreating tool more than anything. Meanwhile, we do see the Lurkers, the Immortals, they just rush into Lurkers. Oh my god! That was what, like 3 Immortals going down? Wait, don't push into the concave. Krystianer, calm down, trying to brute force the issue here. Stargates are on the way. Krystianer is working towards Sky Toss. Lurker Hydra on left hand side does go for the Nexus. Doesn't quite get it. Recoil goes off. There's that Frenzy trying to escape. But again, that's what we've seen to be most effective, is just to run away. As Eba does attempt to get the hell out of there. Night Storm into the main. Zealots are ready. The Zealots do shut it down. Back up Nidus towards the natural. Still trying to keep up. Nothing quite in the Nidus yet. As Krystianer rotates. Both armies are maxed. I still feel like Krystianer's 90 probes are hurting him more than anything. As it does mean that his army is smaller than usual. Lurkers are breaking into the natural. Main armies do clash. Storm here on the Hydras. Once again, forced to get the hell out of there. Forced to pull back. Oof. Storms are still brutal though. And Krystianer, he's thinking about pushing in. Lurkers, they take down the Cybercore. And Krystianer, he's gaining ground here in the natural. Carriers have arrived. But Lurkers, they're working towards that mineral line. They're getting to the natural base. Once again, brutal storms. Hatchery goes down. And these carriers will clean up these Lurkers. They don't get into the mineral line. The probes survive. Lurkers are cleaned up. And Krystianer, you can keep on pushing. And now where are the Lurkers? Oh, brutal storms. Yeah, no Lurkers in position. Only 2 Lurkers to defend. And Krystianer, he's done it. He breaks through. Again, the Lurker army cannot keep up with Mass Immortal. Not like this. Storms are brutal. Krystianer still maxed. Eba, he plummets in supply. Eva's now trying to work towards the Spire, but it might just be too little too late at this point. No detection. Lurkers are moving in. Oof. Jesus, that was... the frenzy makes him so fast. But GG gets called. There's just nothing left for Eba, and Krystianer, he will snowball out of control. He will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Krystianer does take the first game here. Again, Eba, he initially was able to survive. That is true, was able to survive, able to get up to a maxed out army, and get into Hydra, sorry, I should say Ling Hydra Lurker. But Krystianer, Eba, he was never able to get into Viper tech. Vipers are quite necessary against that kind of army composition. There are just so many immortals, and for those who do not know, even though Lurkers can be good against ground toss, once you get up to critical mass of Immortal and Storm as well, as we saw out of Krystianer, you can weather those Lurkers, you can break through them, you can break through those lines, and punish it quite hard, especially over time with those storms. Alas, Eba, he wasn't quite able to deal with that. He was being relatively effective when it came to his counterattacks, when it came to his Nidus Worms, but as we saw, it wasn't quite effective enough. By then, it was too late. Carriers had arrived, the Lurkers were cleaned up, just bleeding out too many Lurkers too quickly. And with that GG, well played, we're now getting ready for game number 2. Getting into game 2. It's going to be on Snowpiercer. Let's go. As you saw towards the end as well, like ideally once you're up against that kind of army, you want to work towards Corruptor into Broodlord, and Eba had that on the horizon, but again, it was a bit of a later transition from Eba. Wasn't quite able to get there. And we'll see if Eba can force the ace match or if Krystianer wins it here and now. So we're getting into game 2. Here we go. Sounds like a pretty good upgrade. It's like a very niche upgrade. So the reason why I should emphasize, the reason why even though we cast StarCraft on a daily basis, and we've been casting the PTR for months at this point, or over a month, it's an upgrade that we've only seen twice now. I'm shout to Eba, now hey, second player to do it. But the reason for that is because by the time you get into Hive Tech, by the time the game progresses that long, usually you want to be morphing in mainly Lurker, have a lower Hydra count, and be transitioning into Corrupted Broodlord anyway. So it's kind of a weird upgrade because it's locked behind Hive, just because by the time you get there, Hydras lose their potency. So it's kind of weird in its placement, is what I will say. But regardless, we're getting into game 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Snowpiercer, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg representing the Platinum Heroes from land of the UK. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Eba. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. We go. So yeah, that's why it's just a very niche upgrade. Like even against Terran, by the time you're getting into Hive Tech as well, and I was talking about how it helps Hydras when it comes to trying to deal with drop play. That is true, but also again, by the time you reach that kind of game state, you do want more Lurkers more than anything. A bit of a lower Hydra count, just because Ling Bane Lurker is more effective than Ling Bane Hydra Lurker in that kind of game state, and you also want to be working towards, you know, Corruptor, Broodlord, Infestor as well, depending on what kind of composition you're up against. So yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird upgrade. Just because of by the time it kicks in, like the power of the Hydra's kind of come and gone. But regardless, it was great to see it. I do appreciate seeing it nonetheless. As we are going to be settling in and getting into game 2. Getting into game 2. Now, once again, Krystianer going for the Stargate. So just gate expand into Stargate here from by Krystianer. We saw in the last game that this was leading into a 4-gate Vanilla Stalker push, which Eba did punish, if you recall. He punished the Stalkers, he shut them down, and Eba was able to get a much more comfortable start to the game. We'll see if Krystianer does the same, or if he does go for something a little bit different. As Eba will take his third. Oh, name? Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's Krystianer versus Krystek. Let's go. There we go. Setting up the names. As an episode 2 move out, they are going to be threatening the natural. And they do commit to the shade. 2 adepts, of course, taking one-shot drones. One drone goes down, but the other gets caught out. As they're making their way towards that middle line, they do deny a little mining time at least. And can he get a second drone? He can! 2 drone kills, 2 drones for 2 adepts. Not the worst trade. 3 drones even. Oh my god. Okay, much better. It's a decent trade there from Krystianer, getting 3 workers. Lost mining time, and he's not done. Here comes the Oracle, following it up with, ooh, not a Gateway Explosion, but with a Robo and a Twilight Council instead. Okay. My eyes are on Krystianer. From here, he can rush into Charge. He can go into a War Prism or into early Immortal production. I am curious as to where this takes us. So we do have extra gateways. Big delay on the third. The third base is going to be delayed here in favor of all this tech. This looks like almost the beginning of a 2-base all-in. Regardless, very committed here by Krystianer. And which upgrade does he go for? Is it Charge or is it Blink? Oh, we have the answer. Templar Archives into Charge. Meanwhile, across the map, Oracle does get 3 drone kills. Does, once again, delay mining here at the third. Forces out those Evo chambers as well. Very nice damage by Krystianer. And here comes the Prism. So, Krystianer should be expanding. This is not a 2-base all-in. This is a bit of a delayed Archon drop, essentially. So, third base now being taken is delayed. That is true. But now the Prism moves out. With what exactly? With High Templar, soon to be Archons. So Krystianer is going for a delayed Archon drop. With this, he can hunt down Overlords, he can threaten the Mineral Lines, he can even threaten the Queens as well, while he expands and settles into a 3-base economy. This is a build that Krystianer, he is very much so known for. This ideally builds up towards a heavy Archon and Immortal count as well, into this kind of robust death bull of an army. And we've seen Krystianer even defeat a laser with this. If you recall, it was in the House of Galactic battle earlier this year, not the last one, but the one before that, where Krystianer actually used this build to beat a laser and to be the champion. And to become the, well, that's how he became the Prince of Poland, true. It was very trendy at the start of the year, for Krystianer, I should say. One queen goes down, the other under fire. Can he get another queen? They're getting low. Flush Transfuse. Does keep the queens alive. The Archons, they still have plenty of shields. We go for another Warp It. Oh my god. Krystianer, he does commit. Barely saves one of the Archons. Saves the other as well. Queens are getting so low. Oh my god. The juggling, the control. He wants the queens. He wants them. Does go for the dive. Prism takes a couple of shots. Oh, and there we go. 1, 2 more queens go down, and this could just be game. This could just be too much damage. GG, good call. GG, well played. Very well played. Gets called as Krystianer. He does take the series at 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. It escalated very, very quickly out of control there. Again, Krystianer, he was not all in. Behind it, he was getting into Immortal production. He was taking into +1, into charge lots as well. He was building up towards his Immortal Archon push. But alas, he did gain just a little bit too much value there with those Archons. He was able to get, what was it, 3, 4 queens? It was insane how many queens went down. And alas, just the value of those Archons was brutal. GG, well played. I do wish that we got a little bit more out of that game. I was looking forward to the mid game. You know, we have seen Eba take it to Krystianer in the past, but alas, Krystianer does take it in the end. And we tried to stop it, but no, we cannot. Welcome one and all to Sparkling Protoss Cup, as it is going to be that PvP finals. Let's go. GG, well played. It is going to be that PvP finals between Krystianer and Geralt, but before the finals, it's raffle time. Boy. before the finals, it is going to be raffle time. La Rifa, papi, la Rifa.